You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Let's get you across the Tasman. Adam Peacock is our regular Australian correspondent out of codesports.com.au. Fresh off the golf course, how did you go, or should I not ask?
No, went all right. 79, so happy with that.
79 off the stick? Jeepers.
Yeah, I'm 5 marker, so I nearly killed someone on the 13th hole here at Longreach with a ball that went OB on the public walkway, but everyone survived, everyone's happy, and now for a nice Saturday arvo before the A-League Grand Final.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks for checking in with us before you get on with the rest of your day. I want to talk about the A-League final in a minute, but can we start with State of Origin? We've had Game 1 in Adelaide on Wednesday. Queensland drawing first blood 26-18 at the Adelaide Oval. What were the main storylines that have emerged out of Game 1?
Oh, the New South Wales are hopeless and they don't have the passion of Queensland. It's just a doubling down of what Queensland go on about every year. And New South Wales had enough ball to win the game, absolutely, and they just couldn't get it together in an attacking sense. And it appeared, and rugby league scholars with much bigger knowledge base than I when it comes to try to score tries in rugby league, so that there might have been a couple of too many cooks out there. Like, they had too many guys that wanted their hands on the ball at the opportune time to try and do something. So that going forward, the balance, and New South Wales up against it now because the second game's up in Queensland, and Queensland tails up after winning another game in their history that ordinarily they shouldn't have won, if you know what I mean.
I do. Is that an accusation gets thrown by Queenslanders towards New South Welshmen and Welshwomen that their sports people just don't have the passion?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, it's like New South Wales have the better players on paper, and Queensland have the better players when it comes to actually winning a game of footy. And that does my head in a bit because, I think everyone who plays for New South Wales gives as much as they can, and that's of an equal output to anyone that plays for Queensland. It's just Queensland do it in the right moment. So, you can't you can't say they're full of it after a game like that the other night, because it just exemplified their thoughts when it comes to Origin and who it means more to. But look, they were just better in the big moments, Queensland. It's all it comes down to. It's nothing about passion or anything like that. They just got it right when they needed to get it right.
In the week ahead, we've got the World Test Championship final. This is Australia against India in... Yep. Yeah, I was going to say, I had to check who was it against. And that's the thing about this. It's sort of sandwiched, this test match, in between the IPL and then the highly anticipated Ashes series. But is it still quite a big deal to try and win the World Test Championship? It must be.
Yeah, it's something new, and I love the idea. I love the cycle that, you play enough, and it is bloody confusing how they weight it. They've got to find a better way of weighting all the matches, and some teams only in the cycle play 10 matches, some might play 14 or whatever like that. But India and Australia have ended up as the two to play off for it. It was you guys in India, I think, last time. So yep. I love the concept, but you're right, it does feel like over here it's a warm-up to the Ashes rather than this trophy that's new, and hopefully in 20, 40 years' time it's still going, because that means Test cricket's still going, that it's a massive thing. It's a world championship. It's a World Cup, if you like. But at the moment, it's a kind of wait and see, and let's see if our players have adapted to English conditions ahead of the Ashes, which are huge as well. But the Oval, it should be a really close contest between two good sides. Hopefully the weather doesn't play a part over there in England. It's always a danger, but the Aussie boys look pretty right for it all, apart from Josh Hazlewood, who might struggle with injury to get up for this first test.
All right, so that's Wednesday night that starts, the World Test Championship final, Australia v India. A-League Grand Final tonight. It's Melbourne City against the Central Coast Mariners. This is one of the great stories of Australian sport. The Mariners, who, not that long ago were a bit of a laughingstock of the A-League, and here they are in the Grand Final. Are they a chance to win it tonight? Oh,
absolutely. I can't split these two sides. I've gone Mariners 3-2 with a tip, an official tip, but, two great attacking sides. So the game, and obviously with, as you know, Piney, with the A-League, there's always noise around the game about the direction it's heading in. If you strip all that away and look at this contest as a pure matchup, it's fantastic. Two sides that love playing forward. They've got so much attacking threat. both of them, and Socceroos all over this joint, which is another good thing for Australian football in particular. Mate, it should be a good game, but of course all the noise around it is, well, not all the noise I should say, but a lot of the noise around it is about where it's been played, why it's up in Sydney. The government, the decision to sell the right to the grand final, that's still lingering, unfortunately. But the 90 minutes could be 120 and a little bit extra. Be fantastic tonight at Combank Stadium.
Yeah, should be a cracker. Just on one of the players, and I see there's a feature on him on codesports.com.au. It's Brian Kaltak. We know all about him over here. He played for a long time at Auckland City. He's really the one that got away from the Wellington Phoenix, to be honest with you, because he's turned up at the Mariners and been absolutely sensational. Yeah,
and what a story. Tim Elber, a colleague from Code Sports, did a beautiful story on Brian about how it opened with the cyclone that ripped through the joint. I think it was in 2015, 2016, over there, and they had to run for their lives, and they survived, and Brian's there playing football. He gets discovered. He goes over to New Zealand for a bit, and then somehow he ends up in Central Coast. Has to go down to Adelaide to play a bit of club football and then come back up the Central Coast. Nick Montgomery identified him, loved him as a player, and then this season he's been the rock at the back. He's in the PFA Team of the Year. He's so quick. Technically, he's got a little bit to work on, but his decision-making when it comes to defending is elite, and it's backed up by this. I think he's the fastest player in the A-League, oddly enough. I think he can set the clock at about 37 k's an hour, which is shifting when you think about it. He's nearly breaking the speed limit in a school zone. So he's rapid and just a lovely human being as well. So wish him well tonight.
Absolutely. Just before you go, I see you've got another gig coming up. You're part of the Channel 7 commentary team for the FIFA Women's World Cup. Only about 7 weeks away now. You'll be looking forward to that? Yeah,
another gig. So my accountant, keeping my accountant busy with the tax situation. So get invoices flying around here. Yeah, but pumped. That's actually where my career started. 7 Network over here in Australia. It's a pretty network, and 1998, and one of the kings of Australian television, Bruce McAvaney. I don't know if you know too much about him over there, but he's fronting the coverage with Mel McLaughlin, who of course is well known to football fans either side of the ditch. And pumped to be a part of it, and it should be a great tournament. And it all starts July 20 over there when New Zealand play Norway in the first match, which is 5 o'clock over here, and hopefully there's a bit of excitement building over there as well.
Yeah, there is a bit of trepidation as well about playing Norway in the first game, I've got to tell you, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, I think. Yeah. Brilliant stuff, Adam. Thanks as always for taking the time for a chat. We'll do it again next Saturday.
No sweat. Sounds good. Thanks, Piney.
Thanks, mate. Adam Peacock there. Codesports.com.au is where you can read his excellent stuff. Catch him in the on social media as well, and across a range of other platforms too. And yeah, that was great news during the week for not that we'll get much of that coverage on Channel 7 over here, but he's a top man, Adam Peacock, and delighted to see him part of the coverage of the Women's World Cup over on that side of the ditch.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday, or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.